Hello and welcome to Our Time. My guest this time on Our Time has a Facebook page which states, "My happiness is my responsibility and no one else's. I control my thoughts and doing so positively create my own unique, perfect reality." Well, let's find out what's real and what she's thinking right now. Meet Jane Donovan. Jane, welcome to Our Time.
Thank you for
For
having
the
me.
second time.
Well, yes.
I'd forgotten.
Oh, well, lucky me for coming back again.
Oh, well, it is about 12 years since you were here last,
Right,
so
and a lot has happened.
fair enough, yes. Now, Jane, I don't even know where to begin with your story because you've had such a diverse career.
I have.
So let's maybe start at the beginning so we sort of get a picture that you actually started off as a dancer, and we've got a fabulous photo of you as a dancer when you were just a
About
week.
20?
Oh, were you?
I think it was about 20.
Okay.
Oh, no, well, I started dancing at 7.
Of course. Now that's, yes.
I couldn't find any of those old photos.
Okay, that's quite all right. So we should have a look at the photo here because when you realise, there you are, look at you with the cheerleading there.
That's the
With your
Glenelg
80s
Football
hair.
Club.
Is that 80s hair or
Very
70s?
80s hair. That would be 1986,
Wow, look at
I
that.
think. Glenelg Football Club, the Glenelg Golden Girls. And
Of
yes,
course.
we all had the 80s perm.
Don't you love it?
Lots of great memories, though. It was an exciting
yes,
time.
but you know, everyone's got to start somewhere. It's like what introduces them to the rest of their life.
Yes.
And it's, as we've said many times on this program, so many people started off doing something, classes of something, which not only sort of spread their friendship group, but also gave them life confidence.
Yeah, absolutely.
And in a way, that's what we're going to talk about, how you've gone from starting off with something like this, the cheerleaders. Are you in that group?
No, I'm not. That was a group that I was producing and choreographing. This is the Adelaide 36ers cheerleaders. So this is now in the 90s, and that was a massive time to be in sports entertainment.
I'm sure it was.
It was, you know, the merchandise that we've got showing there, where they had their posters and costumes for sale and pom-poms, and you'd go to the stadiums and there'd be all these little girls dressed up like these guys, and it was a lot of fun. It was great.
It was part of the sport, wasn't it, really? I mean, they went to see the game, but you needed all this other stuff going on.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. So, you know, really entertainment is what happens around advertising. However, we hope that it's good entertainment. And the cheerleaders added to it. Now, a bit out of vogue at the moment. A lot of people have stopped all of that. I don't know, it's not my game anymore, but we had a lot of fun with it.
Yeah, it's sort of, there's a lot lost in today's society, I think. I think we've all become just a little bit too woke over everything and a little bit too careful. And we were saying just in a past program with two fabulous women, we were just talking about saying yes to everything because, well, within reason, of course, but you don't move forward if you don't say yes.
Absolutely. And people struggle to say yes because they don't know how to say no.
Yeah.
So when you learn how to say no, how to get out of something, it gives you the freedom to say yes to anything. Because you go, well, I'm going to give it a go. And if it doesn't work for me, I know how to exit out of this.
I know there's one more photo there. What was that?
Oh, I can't remember.
Oh,
there we go.
Radio.
That was actually such an important part of my life because I didn't see it coming. And beautiful Mel Dezeldi, who is in the centre here, who's sadly no longer with us, but you might remember lovely Chris Dezeldi. They married. I met Mel through just having little segments on her radio show and talking about dating and relationships and love. And then she decided to get the three of us, the lady on the left is Rebecca Detman, who's a psychic, get the three of us together, and we put together a show called Soul Sisters. So this would have been around 2000s and, I don't know, it was about 10 or 12, no, it was 12 years ago. 12 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah. The reason that I state that is because I had just turned 50 and I was pretty impressed to be offered a spot on a national radio show.
There you go.
I thought, you know, you're never too old. And that was really wonderful.
You really are, and that's sort of where you're going, but let's not quite get there yet.
Yeah.
Then you're working at the convention centre here?
No, that was a long time before.
Oh, before
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah.
No, well, not
Yes.
then, but yes, before that.
Yes, that's right.
And you started putting shows, booking acts and putting people together for performances
Yes.
for the promotional activities, I suppose, at the centre.
Well, when we started working, or when the convention centre started, it was 86, 87, it was brand new to the Australian market. And there was a thing called corporate entertainment that had been spoken of in places like Chicago, Paris, places where they held really large conventions. And we didn't know what this was. So it didn't exist. The conference industry didn't exist. We had a meetings industry, but we had to then work out what we were doing on the run.
And what would attract people to the Adelaide Convention
Yeah,
Centre, which
yeah.
is newly built at that
Absolutely,
time.
yes,
Yep.
yes. So because the facilities were so new, because the numbers that we could cater for, and the lifestyle that Adelaide brings, it was immediately successful in the bookings. But then we had to look at things like production. We had theatre people, we had radio people, we had television people. People had their own category. We didn't have people for this arena. So it was a really interesting time to have the rock and roll guys come in and work with the, theatre lighting guys that worked with the... it was just
With
such
the
a melting
dancers,
pot.
with the singers,
Yes, yes.
the bands.
And then we had to work out, what's this thing for an opening ceremony for a conference? It was a lot of fun. So we created new
Well, a lot
things.
of fun, but fun because it was successful, I suppose.
Yes, most of the time.
Yes, well, we all know sometimes.
We did
Best
some
laid
cool
plans.
stuff. We did a Mercedes-Benz launch of a car where we flew it in on a monorail over the top of everybody's heads, 2,000 people's heads, and the car's coming down and landed on a revolving stage. And, we did some specky stuff, built a swimming pool indoors and had dancers fall out the catwalk into the swimming pool, and it was lots of fun. You know all of this stuff. You're a thespian all the way through.
Well, yes, I guess so. I was involved in some of that stuff too, so
Yes,
I'm
yes.
very aware of it. But you had an organisation then called Essential Talent.
Yes.
And that's the Essential Talent was for
putting on corporate and sports entertainment, yes.
But what we're really going to talk about is what you've been doing recently and are doing now. Okay, so just let me give you an idea. So, I've been married for a few years. The marriage has broken up. I've not dated for a long time. I'm just not quite sure how to get back on the horse, so to speak. And suddenly somebody like you comes along and says, I can help.
That's right.
How did all this come about?
Well, my children had just started school, and up to that point I'd been working mainly as a part-time entertainer, wanting to do things that would allow me to be a full-time mum. And then an opportunity came by of a lovely woman called Robin Cosmida, who you might remember, Nikki Cosmida.
Yes.
It's her mum. Now, she had started a business called Social 8, which was a social club for single people that weren't exactly in their 20s. So it was people from 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s and beyond. And she had grown it and wanted some help and offered me the chance to come and work with her.
Right.
So brought in as a partner, and then we grew the business over the years. Robin met a lovely man, fell in love, and they sailed off into the sunset. And then I continued to grow Social 8. And I found that I started to see commonalities between what members were desiring and what was actually happening. So I recognised a lot of self-sabotaging behaviour that was going on. And
Why do you think that is? Why do people do that?
Fear.
Is that what it is?
It's fear. It's
just
always fear. All negative behaviour is always a fear. So we just need to uncover what is that fear. Where does it stem from? Heal it, reframe it, grow, do things differently. And, in a situation like you were talking about, somebody that's been married for 15 years and a marriage ends, a long-term relationship ends, self-esteem takes a big plummet. Doesn't matter whose decision it is to end a relationship, both will have self-esteem issues as a result. So the first step is to help people to feel good about themselves again. And that's where the social aspect of Social 8 was so beautiful.
So just explain what they did.
So we would organise dinners for 6, 3 ladies, 3 men within the same age group. We would then have little cocktail parties. We would have great big cocktail parties. We would have outings, big quiz nights. So opportunities for people to meet one-on-one for dates, for matchmaking. That was fun. I love becoming the matchmaker. So I've been the psychic, I've been the matchmaker, I haven't been the hooker yet.
Hang on a sec, maybe you should just explain what that word means, because that has a lot of other connotations.
Oh, prostitute?
Yes.
Yeah, well, they're the 3 oldest, careers that you can have. A psychic, a matchmaker and a prostitute.
Okay.
3 oldest, been around forever.
Oh, I've been missing out on
and
life.
I've done 2 of 3.
Okay. Well, I won't go down that path to ask you which 2.
But look, back to the poor person that is struggling.
Yes.
So we want to help them with their self-worth.
And you're absolutely right about that. Now, we're going to come back in a tick and we're going to talk about a lot more about this because it's a very interesting subject. So we'll be back in a tick. Welcome back to Ad Time. My guest is entrepreneur extraordinaire, Jane Donovan.
I'm not sure about that, but thank you.
Well, it does describe you because the diversity of what you're doing. Now, we were talking before, so I've lost my partner in life and I'm a bit desperate to find my new trajectory in life. Mm-hmm. Is that a good way to put it?
Yes, absolutely.
And you were just saying before that you were formulating groups of people to come together. But that's changed again for you. It
has. So 2020 hit. And not to be a Debbie Downer, but that was really tough if you're running a social club. So
it still a bit.
Yeah. So
you stand over there and you stand over there.
That's right. And if you're sitting down, it's okay. But if you're standing, it's not.
Can't touch, can't meet.
That's right. Absolutely. And then it was, yes, you can have an event. No, you can't. Shut down. And then it was, you can have 25 people. No, you can have 80. No, you can only have 10.
Oh, gosh.
And I was paying, beautiful people to be setting the events up and hosting them and then cancelling them. And it just wore me down so I ended up selling Social 8 because I felt that this beautiful business and these gorgeous members, they deserved somebody that was in a much more positive state than I was. Took out the loan, and by the time I sold the business, we'd had 550 days of restrictions on our business.
Yes. Lucky we weren't in Melbourne. Years. We could have had more.
Well, that's right. Absolutely. So I knew it was time because positivity is a big part of my life, and I believe everything is energy. Intention is everything. If you're not giving something your best shot, you have to stand aside and let someone else do it and do a better job, and that's what our members deserved. And so a lovely man bought the business and it's thriving, so that's great. And then I moved into a recluse stage of healing for me. And then...
Why did you feel you needed that?
Well, I was becoming bitter and a bit cynical. And that's not the way to show up in life.
No, true.
Either for my happiness or effectively in connection and with others, And everything I've done has always been very much about connection. So I needed to take a step back and I started painting mandalas at that point, and that was incredibly soothing.
Just explain that. It's repetitive patterns, if you like,
in circles, yes.
Very much like you see in the Mayan art.
Yes, absolutely. It's
I'm
ancient.
so intelligent, I frighten myself sometimes.
I know, I'm impressed. Go you. No. I know how smart you are, Malcolm. I know.
What rubbish.
No. And so,
no, but painting is great.
Incredibly therapeutic.
And we've got some pictures here of some of your artwork. And it's lovely and refreshing. Look at this.
Oh, this was an abstract piece I was commissioned to do for a massage therapist.
Right.
And they wanted something that involved nature, but they also wanted circles in it. And so this piece I created, it actually has concrete on it. The right-hand side is filled and some of the bottom is actually concrete. And so my movement here is that this is we come in hard in some thought process or physical way of being. And it's the softening, the journeying of softening of, they're very spiritual, these particular massage therapists. So I have put my symbols of spirituality in there. I've got, you know, the Father Christmases, the wishing flowers, you know. I put those in there because that's about intention.
Dandelions.
Dandelions, great medicinal plant, by the way.
Really? I remember at primary school we had dandelions and we were always doing that. This one here, that's a lovely calming feel.
Well, this was a photo I took down at Glenelg Beach. I am drawn to doing landscapes.
But that's not a photo, that's a painting.
Oh, sorry, it's the painting of the photo I took.
But what you've got, what I really like there is the wave there, because that really looks like it's the waves there and there. Really look like they're coming in.
Thank you. That's nice
very
to
hard
hear.
to capture.
So this one is Hidden Cities. There's suggestions in the abstracts of the underworld, which can be left, you know, abstracts are both left to interpretation.
Of course.
But we all have hidden depth. And I have a lot of fun with abstracts and some surrealism, echoes of the past, little suggestions here of what could be or what may have been or past lives. Getting a bit mystical, weird, mythical, woo-woo.
This is nice. Woo-woo. There's an expression I haven't heard for a while. The eye is upon you.
That's right, absolutely. And it's not the Illuminati one eye. This is absolutely the all-knowing eye. So this is, you know, my mess of me and expression of, you know, what is important to me. And I love the coastal. I love seeing deeply into people. And I mean that in the kindest of ways, not in a weird way and invading someone's privacy.
Well, not only that, we're not there to judge people.
No,
because everybody's got a story.
No, meet people where they're at and connect as heart to heart.
Did all this come, though, out of the retreat you went to, painting? Did that stimulate you to
the retreat that I did in Uluru?
Yeah.
No, it didn't actually. That came quite a while later. Uluru was a wonderful course taught by a woman called Lorraine Webb from Adelaide Energy Healing Centre. Unfortunately no longer with us, but she was an Indigenous woman who taught about energy medicine and healing. Incredible, put us through the ringer. Day 3, if I could have flown in a helicopter and got out of there, I would have. But by day 12, I was so grateful that I had taken the opportunity to have this time of self-development. I think self-development is so important for everybody.
We need to grow.
So while I was learning, you know, how to be, you know, running inner child therapy for people or various different healing modalities through the course, I also was healing myself. And, you know, we always have to start with ourselves. And that was a very important time for me. So no, that didn't lead to art, but it definitely led to the desire to want to be able to help more people, particularly coming back to single people and also people in relationships. You know, the number of relationships that I've seen that have broken up that I think, if you just booked in with me, I know that that's fixable. That's absolutely fixable.
Well, some people find it difficult to be both honest with each other or to talk it out.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, you can talk it out and it's over, or you can talk it out and you fix it.
Yeah, that's right, absolutely. So if they have a help of somebody that is helping them to speak their truth without judgment, it's the without judgment. It's just a story. We've all got stories of pain, stories of joy, excuse me, stories of calmness, tranquility, all the different emotions. But when we're talking of our stories of what's really going on, instead of it being a finger pointing of, you know, you, it is the I am feeling. And, you know, we can look at where did that come from and what is the pattern and what is it that you require so you no longer feel that way.
And sometimes you need a third person to make that.
That's right. And to keep each other accountable, as well as helping people to be in rapport while having differences. People believe that if you've got something that you don't agree with, they have so much fear around conflict, they won't speak their truth. And then we know when people are not speaking their truth, and then insets the number one self-sabotaging behaviour that I see in all of humanity is inaccurate judgments.
Of the situation or of themselves?
Yeah, they make it either or. So if you're hearing, you know, if somebody's not speaking their truth to you, we kind of have a sense when people are lying. Yes. And then we go into fantasy world of why are they lying? And then we make things so much worse than they really are. So if we can help people to find a way to speak their truth while being in rapport, not causing conflict, not poking the bear, not triggering another person, but sharing their gentle, heart-based truth.
The word is sharing, isn't it? Yes, not
absolutely.
thumping my ideas through.
Yeah, and when it's what I am feeling, that can't be disputed. And when it is acknowledged and not in a triggered fashion.
You're in a happy marriage.
I am. I am.
Happy to have
kids. I even survived driving in Bosnia with him.
Oh, really?
I tell you, that's the ultimate marriage test. If you want a test, go hire a car that's manual, that's left-hand drive, driving on the right-hand side of the road in one width roads, but it's a two-way traffic, trying to translate road traffic signs.
Fabulous.
And I'm navigating and he's driving and I'm through the roof. My cortisol has flooded my body. I have no reasonable ability left in me.
Where's your self-control?
I know, it was out the window then, so it's like, do as I say, not as I do. No. I did my best. The fact that we're still together was I get out the car, he gets out the car, we both let our cortisol stabilise in our bodies, calm down,
give me a hug.
Apologise.
Yeah, give me a hug.
And they go, yeah, okay, we can get back in the car again. But honestly, that's the ultimate test, I believe. But yeah, no, we've been together for 30 years. 2 gorgeous children who are 26 and 23. One's a makeup artist, so I did my makeup today.
Okay.
The other is a volleyballer, plays volleyball for Australia.
Okay.
So off to Canberra and watching the Volleyroos do their thing against New Zealand.
Well, that must be a great joy too, to see your protege moving on.
I love that they're both doing what they want to do.
Yep.
You know, I was very nervous.
That's good parenting, really, isn't it?
I think so.
To give them the confidence to do what they want to do. Speaking of doing things, we've got to take another short break. And we'll be back with a whole lot more from this lovely lady, Jane Donovan, in just a bit. Jane Donovan is my guest on this episode of Ad Time. Now, Jane, we were just saying in the break, you said, am I doing all right? Am I answering? And really, this is, you were saying that even Oprah says that's what every guest says. I don't think of it in those terms, I guess, because we just talk, as far as I'm concerned. But this is an issue with people, isn't it?
It is.
It's the uncertainty of...
It is. It's people being in an arena that they're not comfortable with. Once you get comfortable, you stop asking questions like that because you know whether you've done right or you haven't. But when it's in an unfamiliar environment, which is so often what happens in dating and relationships, is that you end up in unusual areas. But it can also be people that are highly sensitive. And so there's a wonderful doctor called Dr. Elaine Aron, who I actually got to interview on a radio show many years ago. She is the founding author of this particular research. And she gave me permission to share this worldwide for anybody that wants to learn about being a HSP, known as a highly sensitive person.
Oh, okay.
Now,
HSP.
This is not to be confused with, the 1980s snag, sensitive new age guy. You remember that?
Oh, gosh, yes, I'd forgotten that expression.
Yeah, well, came in, went out, whatever.
Yeah, well, they always do, don't they?
Everything goes in cycles, yes. But the highly sensitive person is somebody that takes in more sensory information in the same amount of time as a non-highly sensitive person.
And we're more aware of that now too.
Yes, absolutely. And so their nervous system operates in a different way. But what Dr. Aron discovered was, it's genetic, it's 17 to 20% of the population, it's in every species, and it is the survival of a species. So in other words, if you've got somebody about to, press the finger on a button and drop a bomb somewhere, it'll be a highly sensitive person that will be standing next to them, reading the room better, going, maybe you shouldn't do that. So there is a really important role for highly sensitive people to play in society, now more so than ever. But what we find is that typically goes hand in hand with a trait that I don't believe in called shyness. I don't think that people are shy. I think that they're sensory overwhelmed. And when they learn to manage the trait better...
I can see what you're saying.
Yeah, it's a learnt behaviour that works for them. It's a coping mechanism. And so this became really important to me when I realised this was me. And then I realised it was both of my daughters. And then I went, oh my gosh, how am I going to help these two beautiful little babies that, you know, it's such a life of struggle. Well, it had been a life of struggle until I moved further into self-development and learnt the tools to manage sensitivity and then ultimately embrace the gifts.
Well, that's what you're doing now, so people can actually consult you.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. This is my proudest work that I've done in many careers.
And how will they find you?
Probably easiest if they head to my website, which is janedonovan.com.au.
Not hard to forget, remember.
And there's loads of...
Not hard to forget. Not hard to remember.
Oh, thanks
Sorry,
for
just
that.
clean that up. Thank you. Went the wrong way round in my head.
That's okay. And there's loads of free resources on there. So people can, you know, if they're curious about this, you know, do you become overwhelmed easily? Do scratchy labels on the back of your jacket bother you? Do loud noises suddenly startle you? Am I describing you?
No.
Oh,
just,
you were going...
no, sorry. Just so much to think about and so little time. Jane, we could talk all night.
We can and we
but
have.
We have run out of time, but thank you so much. And look, if you would like to see more of our time, just remember CTV Plus has got a whole lot of our episodes, in fact, a whole year's worth. And if you miss any of those programs from even before, we have on YouTube a whole lot of programs as well under these addresses. So, Jane, thank you so much. Until next time on
Thank you. It's been my pleasure.
It's been great to see you again.
Thank you.
I won't make it 12 years again next time. Until next time, keep yourself nice till then. Bye.